So key features of Web Intelligence 4.3 SP3. I am excited to share this with you. I love 4.3. I really, really love it. And SPO3 brought some really cool things that I think you're going to enjoy. The first thing that I want to show is the new data tab. And let me open that up and show. So this will be a new workflow that we can use for bringing data sources together from different sources. The intention is that this would be the replacement for not being able to use multi-source universes. So with this, my starter report here, the block on the left is from an Excel spreadsheet, and the block on the right is from a universe. And if we look right up here, you'll see now we have 4 different modes there: reading, design, structure, and data. And it's here in the data mode that we can bring these data sources together into a single cube. Here is my Excel spreadsheet. It has a couple of dimensions, 3 dimensions and a measure. However, because it's Excel and the years were numbers, it thought the years were a measure. And so the first thing I'm going to do to prep the data to be able to join the data is change this into a dimension. And I'll do that here in my properties. And from my query 1, I'll select my target year and this little icon here for the object properties. So from here, I can change the qualification to a dimension, and I'll also change the data type just because I happen to know that the year is held as a string in my universe. So I'll change that to a string. And now when I click on apply, the data goes away because it has to refresh that data so it can examine it. Now it knows it's not a measure. It doesn't need to aggregate it. So I'll refresh the data. And there we go. We have our target year here. So now my data is ready. I can look, I have in my universe data set here, I have salesperson and order year. And those are the 2 common dimensions that I have between the 2 data sets. I see that the format of my salesperson is in the same last name, comma, first name. So the format matches, which is important. And the data type matches for my year object as well. Okay, so here we go with the magic. I'll select my universe query, and then with my control key, the Excel data set, and then use the combine button. And here you go. Now we can have a all right, so I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to explain what are the common dimensions. I purposely named them differently just so you can see. If they were named the same, it would have kind of picked that up, but they're not. So here's salesperson from my universe and sales rep from the spreadsheet. I'll click add, and then the same for my year object. Select both of those and add, and then close. So those are my common dimensions, and I can click create. And now it has created a new cube of data for me to use. Not just that, but let me edit this and give it a name, a better name than I have here. Instead of query 2 plus query 1, this is my sales rep, revenue, and target. Okay, now I'm going to switch to design mode. And look here, all one data cube. You don't see merged dimensions. You don't see other things, which are really important. I'm going to bring in all of this data together. My year, actually, I'll just go faster and select everything if I can. Not having my mouse is annoying. All right. I'll drag. Let me collapse that for a minute just so we can see. Actually, I need that one for a moment. In my feeding panel, I'll drag revenue back in and drag sales goal down to the bottom. All right. One of the things to notice, I purposely brought in additional dimensions from both data sets. I don't know if you noticed that. We don't have to make detail objects now to include them. It's just all one data sheet that plays together nicely. One big happy family. Let me scoot over here.
My question is, why
I know we've been waiting forever for this, right? Right? So yes, I am super happy. You can imagine now being able to park this data and give it to some users and let them play around with it and not have to teach them all the rules about merging. So you can still merge in the old-fashioned method. You can still do that if it's needed. You saw that I did a left join there. Let me edit this again and show you. Let's just say that I wanted to do a right join instead. I can edit this and essentially accomplish that by swapping the tables. So now it's bringing back all my Excel data and matching rows from my universe. So I'll click update, and then I toggle back to design mode. Now it took out the empty rows that were in my universe data. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun to play with in the coming months. And they're working on more enhancements to this for the next version for SPO4 as well. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, Excel, of course. It could be two entirely different data sources. It could be Oracle and SQL Server.
Yes.
And so now I'm able to bring the worlds together.
Right.
You now something that phase out multi-source universes.
Right.
But this one don't need multi-source.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yeah, and there's some simple transformations you could do on the data as well. I think my colleague Renali is going to be doing a presentation on that at IBIS. And so you're right, there's tons that we can do now and is within our control for the web intelligence developer. So it's really nice. Any other questions before I jump? Yeah.
Showing that got 31
Yes. Oh, yes, on here to indicate the source. I did see that, and it is one of the things that they talked about, including in SPO4. So, or whether it's going to come in a patch, they're aware of that. Yeah. Right. On the right. Yep.
Yeah, basically what I said control is that this functionality is really coming in two phases. It's coming in SP3 and SPO4. So this is the first phase in SPO3. But, you know, what we saw on Tuesday was that they're going to have a lot more capabilities.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's what gives, you know, this is more visual. They're going to open it up and get much more flexible in SPO. We have to wait till December when they bring that out. But this is a great starting point. It really is.
Also a pen is there. And if you need a full outer join, you can still do it the old.
And in SPO4, you can do quite
Oh yeah, inner join is what they're adding. Yeah.
Hey, can you not do it in the join right now? It's just left.
Left, and I did it right just by
yeah.
swap.
What I'm saying
Yeah.
is they're only putting
Yeah.
a couple of things in now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
The
makes
rest
sense.
of the features come in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to swap to a new report. Look now that they've added on the toolbar. Now you can open a report. So in SPO2, when you want to start a new report or open a new report, you have to click on the home screen and then click folders and then find your report. Now they have that added it here to the toolbar. Not only that, but you can start a new report from an existing report. I love that. All right, not only that, they added these. This was not available in SP2, so you can see your favorites. You know, you can navigate quicker to where you want to go. I put all the reports I want in my favorites for this presentation, so I can jump to them right away. So. Pardon? That was the open dialog box.
That sounds like an SAP name.
Yeah. All right. In reading mode, they added a couple of interesting features. You can now do a sort and a rank by using the properties in reading mode. So you can do that with a right-click option here and add a sort or a rank in there. The other thing that I wanted to show here is that they also added the ability to maximize charts. So that's why I put a bunch of charts on this report here. And by right-clicking, you have every chart has this maximize option. So you can just right-click and click maximize, and you can see it much bigger. That works well, especially in mobile, viewing that report in mobile. Okay. Because it's all HTML5, things work very nicely in mobile. All right. The Trellis chart, they've been promising that for years and finally delivered it in this version. I actually like to show it in e-fashion just because the data works better. Which is the thing I found with the Trellis chart is that you can try various modes to see what fits best with your particular data. So in the pie charts there, it's a little bit hard, but you can see the darker purple one changes over the years. And then here in the maps, I like looking at Texas over the years. So it started off doing well, did better, and then down toward the latest here at the bottom, it's this tiny dot. So interesting. What is it measuring? Revenue. Revenue went up and then it went down. And then here on their quantity sold by store, it was interesting to see like the same rises and dips each for the same year. Every store had, you know, improved and decreased and improved and decreased. So anyway, try them out. see how it works with your data. I think it can provide some interesting ways to view your data and some interesting insights. All right, with prompts, those are a couple other reports I want to open up. They added a prompt hint, which I think is a really nice addition. So this report, if I refresh the report here, you see my hint here at the top that says it's one of those search, like search for customer last name that starts with B and then an asterisk. And it kind of explains that to them up here, how to type it out. So you have more than just the little name of the prompt. You can actually give explanation and show formatting, things like that. So that was a nice addition that they added. The other thing that they added is in the prompt variants. Have you used and taken advantage of prompt variants? They've been around for a long time, but now they're not just personal variants, they're universal or for everybody. So if I refresh this report, you see it's got these 5 prompts, and I have these prompt variants saved here, either personal or public. If I click on the public, I can choose this. It fills all of them in, and I can run my report really quick. So, gosh, this has been so helpful for me when I'm developing reports and they have mandatory prompts. And you're really not the same one every single time. Save it as a prompt variant, and then fill it in quickly, and it will save you a lot of time. So now we have public. You can set it up for your executives that they can choose it once, and it fills it in for them, and they're ready to go. Okay, so I'll switch back to my report. Yes, I believe so. I did read something about it being available for scheduling. Yeah. Good question. Usability enhancement. So in SP2, you can now access data from Google Drive. Now you can also access data from Microsoft OneDrive. So that was added. And then also, let's say I wanted to start a new report here. And it shows my data sources. Look at this. Now we have a recent. I can click on that, and it shows me my most recent data sources that I've used. It will save 20 of your most recent selections in there for you. And then you can clear the history if it's no longer working for you. So that's going to save us some time. All right. And then the toolbar additions, I think I've mentioned those. You can also favorite a report from the toolbar. So that's another nice one. The aligning, this is really nice. So you see how I have all this stuff that is not aligned on here. Let me switch to design mode. All right, I'm going to drag this over, and you see the aligning bars or dots on there. So now you can line it up there. I can align this one up. I could do both at the same time. I could align my cell here, top, and also not just the top there, but you see how it's picking up the lines from the table underneath of it. So I could, line it up with one of the columns underneath there as well. So I really like that. I think I'll drop it there. And then, of course, the chart as well, I could pull up. Not only that, but watch when I resize a cell. Notice the, you see that width and height. So it's telling you specifically, this is how wide you're making it. So if you're trying to do a pixel perfect report, Now it's easier to do it just with dragging. So that's a nice addition. The formula bar has some nice new additions. The formula descriptions are back. So if we want to create a new formula in here, this little tag here opens up the description, so you can save a description for your variable in the report. Again, the color coding there is really nice. The other thing I wanted to show here is the autocomplete. It's really nice. So revenue or order month. So let me show you. I'm going to start typing that up here. If I can click on a cell. So I'll just start typing rev and hit enter. And it pops it in there for me. Where now I need order month. I'm going to use my down arrow and hit enter, where order month equals and then January. So you can see how just typing a formula in there has gotten much easier now that we can just hit enter when it suggests that object in there. So I really like that. Not only that, but see this long formula I have there? I'll add an equal sign in front of it. What I wanted to show here is they extended this. Now you don't just have those two lines. You can drag that bar down to see the whole long formula. So we have tons of room there now to see the whole thing. That's nice. Conditional formatting. In the history of Webby, we've never been able to do this. So you can't apply conditional formatting to multiple columns at once, and now you can. So if I select multiple columns, not having a mouse is not easy. I'll right click. I have those 4 columns selected, formatting rules. I'll check the box by my greater than 20K customers. And now the ones that meet that requirement are highlighted. So I talked to someone who had a 50 column report, and he had to individually select every single column, apply the formatting, like the next one, so you can see what a time saver that will be. All right, this highlighting here, this is a new addition as well. So we can link intra-document linking within the same document and finally pass a value from one piece to another piece. So from here, I set up intra-document linking on this column, and it's going to go to the next tab, which has the details set up for that and an input control. See, I have an input control with the customer names there. So from this report, I can look at and say, oh, what did this guy order? And I'll switch to reading mode. Click on him, and it filters that, takes me right to that tab, shows me the detail. Not only that, but they gave us these new formulas to capture that information as well. So we now have this new input control filter function that captures the result from that selection. So that's one of the new ones too. And then finally, similarly for element linking, I'll switch to design mode real quick and choose, this is just set up for element linking to choose a region, and it's filtering either the map or the table there, but the name there is getting caught with the new function that they gave us for element linking. I'll click on that cell. Element linking filters, and then you specify the name of the block that has the element link on it. And now you have a custom title. So that's a quick rundown I'm a little breathless. It's a lot. It's fun to work with them. What I appreciate is they really put a lot of effort to make things easier for report developers to do all the things that we do frequently to make it easier. So, thank you.